Welcome back to Elite Gameplay Analysis. My name is John. If you're brand new here, I've been a top 100 player in the world, and I am a professional coach, which we are going to be starting our coaching sessions up right away. So you guys can go ahead and book me on Metafy. I finally feel comfortable with this game to teach you guys exactly what you need to do. We'll be diving into my tactics. We'll also be diving into kind of the idea behind what the new update entails and a bunch of new stuff. So if you're brand new to this channel, this is the real way to improve. And I'm not going to just try to teach you a glitch. We're going to teach you the real way. And it's as close as you can get to actual football. But the main topic today is going to be based off the update. I haven't had a chance to play until just literally yesterday for the past few days. There's some other stuff going on. And anyways, long story short is we're going to make today's update about this video about the update and go through some tactics that you guys could use to improve your game. But if you want an even easier way, check out lootbar.gg. They have the lowest prices, fastest delivery, while being 10% cheaper than any other platform and trusted by big names like Pro Owns and Zorky. You also have insanely good reviews on Trustpilot. % off with my code JohnSims at checkout and get your coupon while it lasts. But okay, the first thing I want to talk about is right when you start this match, you're going to see this weird connection issue right at the beginning of the match. It happens every single time, and you'll see it right here. So what I like to do, especially with the new update, you see this, it will happen every single time. I don't want to go into why, but it does. The reason why I'm going to talk about that is because the defensive AI now is so intense, right? Like the marking is so like insane right away, that you're going to want to take just a brief moment and just like let the connection be fine versus bad, unless you have just such a good positive connection that it doesn't matter. Anyways, we're going to move on to some defense. That's just a little tip there right at the bat. So right now, what you're going to see me do nowadays with this jockey speed is you're going to see us jump into these lanes. Now, this is actual FIFA. So if you guys if you're like upset with this update, don't be upset with this update. This update was bound to happen. I mean, there's so many passing animations that are I call them animation breaks. When you'll see one in here. There's a shot animation break that should not have happened with a Claudia Pina. Claudia Pina still has some animation modeling that she needs to get fixed. But what you see how this jump right here, this is what's that was a little bit of an inaccurate jump. So like if I'm playing even a higher level player here, I'm gonna miss that right there. If he just rips that through, boom, he gets it. You see what I'm saying? So it's a skill issue now. So I mean, if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. But what you want to do at this stage of the game, guys, is what I call animation momentum, or player animation momentum. And all that is like a way to cut passing lanes. It's a way to effectively player switch. And what you're going to see is your ability to like jump into these lanes and like cut these lanes out. But this skill, the true skill, is when you let go of the controller. Because I can sometimes, so like with a smaller player, you're gonna have to hold on to them a little bit longer because they don't carry as far. Now with a bigger player, you have to kind of pull them, or you can let go when they're at full speed. Now that's when that's full speed. Now when they're in smaller speeds, then smaller players are better because then you can really get one side to side relatively quickly. So that's where the skill is going to be involved, and that's what you're seeing right here is I went side to side and then I jumped there, and that was just a big bad poor space. This is another little tip that you guys want to do off the wing here is do not crowd their space over here. The AI goes bonkers, it goes bananas if you continue to take this position. And it also, if you allow this space, that opens up this rotational play right through here if you end up moving your fullback there. So what I do is I just stay right here. What that's going to do is it eliminates the through space here and then allows the defensive AI to kind of shift in. Then I'm going to drag that into the position, and now we're going to open it up this way, which is much harder to hit. So now he has to take a risky shot at this, and that's what we're going to open up to. And so then you can see I actually jumped that lane, and then we're going to take that space. So if we think that that's not like a skillful defense, that is actually defense. That is like the way this game should be played. It's just been, the game has just been in a different space. So if you're upset with that style of movement, I'm sorry. That was perfect defense. And so now you can see him literally on a single counter though here. He sheds his break. He breaks his defensive line. This is a really good player. I mean, this is elite division at this stage of the game. It's like these guys are not like these are all like FC Pro players. So I'm not playing, smorgasbord of players. So we go right out to the back, right up to the top. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys forward. You got this huge space now. I'm going to hit that every single time. I'm going to send this through every single time. And then we just take that little angle, we pull him down, we pull him up, and then I'm going to hit that through. And now all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to sit him on one side. So this is all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep him to one side. I do not want him to go to the middle. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to take it wide, and then I'm going to cut in, and I was trying to take him down. So the problem was my timing here. And so this is like, once you guys get to a certain skill level, it's timing and teeny tiny micro mechanics is what I say is what really changes the game. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to drag him down because I want him to worry about this. Now, this is like the first match of the morning for me. And so since last night. So what I should have done here is either a double dink, try to get a double dink through, maybe this way, double dink this way and creative run, player lock, maybe a player lock, but realistically I probably should have gone over the top. I don't like over the top, but I actually feel it's actually really effective in FC 26. I've never said that before. I quickly learned that I should not jump this position, but I made a couple mistakes. This is sloppy defense on my counter positioning. So I'm trying to get there just in time, and I didn't think about that player. I was trying to cut off on this counter. So he gets a really nice play from here. So there's the break, goes boom, and so now he's going straight into this pocket position. And I jumped the wrong player. You can see that. That was a huge mistake. That was a massive mistake. And this is why player switching is so important. But I'm trying to jump that passing lane. But the difference is this. Yates was pulled like a little bit of movement. If that movement was, he would be about right there. That's a completely different angle. That's a different level of pressure. That pass backwards, not going to work. Therefore, I don't have to bring her all the way over. So sometimes, guys, it's literally those little tiny, that player switch and that little move that completely change and shift everything for you. So that's what happened there. And then I didn't see the center mid. That I didn't expect him to play the ball back. And then this is a little glitch that's going on right now. It's like a fake shot. I like to do a fake shot. It's really weird, but I like to just do a fake shot right here. Look at this. I'm literally doing a fake shot. And it will, whoops, sorry for the camera there. I'm literally doing a fake shot, and it literally will just pass it. It'll do this. So there are some bugs. There are some stuff going on in the game. So if you see that type of stuff, honestly, come to my live stream, send it to me. I'd love to see that type of stuff, and I'll try to break it down to tell you if something is a bug, a glitch, or how to fix it. Because if there's something I understand is, oddly enough, is about the animations in this game, and it's I feel like it's an addiction at this point. But okay, anyways, move on. Just simple 1-2 plays. Timing is everything here. Timing is literally everything. I was just trying to shred this. I was if you can look at this, I was aiming this way with the pass, and it went a different way as well. So, but this is what you call, this is more of a liquid football style. I can't get liquid football though. You can't get liquid without pressure. That's something that's very misunderstood, is you can't get liquid football without pressure, because you need to have an opening, you need to have a break. And so there was a break right there. Here's a break right here. And so, nope, he didn't break, but here's a huge break. Now what I should have done is probably sent this way, sent her on a run, and just gone for it. What I'm actually doing is I'm trying to avoid the simple thought of just play the open player, because that's so easy to read. And what I typically am able to do is I'm able to fake to a position like this, and then when he sees me pass, he switches high, and then when that opens up, then that player continues to carry. It gives me a lot more time versus a closed position right there. So I'm trying to hit this right here. You can see this literally right through here. You can see my angle, and it goes directly straight. Now, maybe De Jong has something to do with that animation position, and that's where the outcome came instead of like a bounce. But that was nowhere near the right angle, and then we get hit on a counter. So unfortunate that that angle is nowhere near the right space, and then his Claudia Pina dude just takes this incredible run, and I know he did not player lock that. He did not player lock this run from Pina, nor did he creative run, because that's not a creative run really. There's no way he hits that as a creative run. That, I mean, it might, maybe with the new marking. If that was a creative run, I don't think he hits another one like that in this game. So I think it was just a weird timing thing. But to get better at this, to fix this moment, how do we fix this moment? There's a couple ways. Number one is you can see how I'm trying to grab Yates. I see my CDMs out, and so I'm trying to grab him down. Now what I need to go inside here, and I don't need to jump this. So you see that's, and so again, I player switch issue. Now you see that is the issue of jumping lanes, because had I jumped earlier, I would have been in the right space. So it has nothing to do with him being like this superior player. It was just simply mistake by me for being just a little bit too old, I feel like, nowadays. But now we have to try to come back on this, down 1-0. And so 1-2, there's the play, and then he stabs, and so he gets it. So cheeky position here, but this is exactly what I want. I want him to grab that center back. This is a really dumb thing to do, to be honest. And so I grab that. Some players, guys, you're going to really notice that some people don't know how to defend any. I don't think they'll know how to defend properly. And I actually think that some players are going to be, this update's going to affect a lot of people, and like the people that are going to be affected are the people that only use Bruiser. If you only use Bruiser and tackles, you're going to see some issues arise, if that be that may. So this is a crowd swarming technique, kind of a swarm technique. So when I do break, I will be a little bit more pressure. So I break right here. I will go for chances right now. I don't necessarily need to go over the top and be like this. I don't need to be breaking fullbacks at this space. But what you'll notice is instead of taking the CDM on the interior, that opens up this entire width. Now, I typically like to close down the middle. However, in this exact position, what you're going to see is I'm going to stay on this side, and then I'm going to try to wait and force that pressure to commit this way. If you can see, that way we can end up ultimately blocking that entire lane. Now, I don't do that very often. I really like to manage the interior. See, he jumps again, and there we go. Got it creative. And there, we had this one, and that was Diani with that finesse plus right in a good spot too. Right in a good spot. Looks like I was sprinting on the shot, so that's probably what it was, to be honest. Just for some reason it curls right in there, and so that's on me, I guess. Now we have to be patient with Claudia Pina, and so now we're gonna manage and break off that line, then rotate in, and so he tries it quickly, and so again, this is me being rusty. This has nothing to do with him like skillful. So if you guys are making these mistakes, go back, watch your clip, watch your footage. This is on me. Is it because a connection? Because this is technically a connection controller, or is it me? I don't know. 38 ms with a sprint touch, and so you can see I'm not touching it now, and it sprints. It still sprints, so that still was activated. So I let go pretty quickly, but those touches, they can hit you really quick if you're just in the wrong space, and then it will just give Mbappe a very easy read, because the better the player is, the higher the reactions, the more that when you do that sprint touch, the more likely it's going to go to that player. That's essentially what that does. Crystal Dunn has been absolutely fantastic. This is my Evo Crystal Dunn. This isn't the ratings reload one, even though I put that little thing on her. And so, dude, I put the technical plus on her, and dude, I was queued up, man. I queued up. Look how beautiful this was. Oh, that was a great spot to be in. We should have had that. We definitely should have had that one there. But as this play continues, let's see. Manage the interior. So that's done is a little bit too high. And so I had to pull down Yates. You can see that. And so I continue to mark Mbappe because, dude, people love to shred out to Mbappe. And so now I'm going to mark and manage that interior. And we do a pretty good job. The reason why he misses, either he just misses controller, but then there's pressure right there. So you can see the positional pressure there lowered the RNG variables. And that's one of the animation areas I believe Peanut has been updated a little bit on. Outside of that, they haven't fixed everything. That's where I made a mistake. I needed to pull them in. So if that's on me, might be on me. Boom, good tackle, play forward, all the way forward. Here we go. Wait, pulling up. There it is. Make him think I'm gonna make a pass. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. If he clicks circle to do that, or if he just if it was just, oh my gosh, look at that overstep. So that is old and rusty. This is probably the worst thing you could possibly do right here with Marquinhos. Oh, I guess so. It just looks like we went forward a little bit. But Marquinhos jumped up there, and that was probably like the worst thing I could have done. And there's the clearance. This is a 4-1-2-1-2. I will share my tactics and kind of just briefly go over it towards the end here, or in the video. But as we manage, we're gonna manage, stay central. There we go. So this is when double R1 can work. The only thing is, I don't like this right now. I need to set an offside trap, but the worry is I don't want to mark that run. So you don't want to hit an offside trap when players are getting when players are getting marked, because it will give you a delay on that. So perfectly timed, perfect through play, and then set it up for the strong foot and finish and proper mechanics. So this is as clinical of a 4-1-2-1-2 strategy as you can get. Win the ball in the counter up through the center. Now we're going to try to hit one of the strikers. Now I'm going to send this player on a run. You can see that player's already sent on a run. So this is why I even look down the middle here. There's two reasons why I look down the middle. One, I'm trying to do this. One, I'm trying to send this player on a run. And then two, I'm actually trying to create a fake here. And then I'm going to play the ball to Diani. So it sets up two things here. Boom, there's the play. And then I'm going to go cross position, because now his player switches here. Just by his sheer habit, he's going to jump forward, which sends that through. And so, I mean, I do this one all the time. It's like one of my favorite ways to do it. There is a 4-2-3-1 version of it. And I've done that one quite a bit too. But anyways, here we go. There's the step. There's the pressure. I really like Grace Giora, man. I really like her. And then I made a mistake here, and I was trying to player switch here. And then if you look at Marquinhos's R1, it should be going towards the player, not up. So I'm clicking R1. It should be going this way. And oh, you know what happened here is I clicked it too early. And so when the ball is being passed, it's almost like it's referencing that player, and that jumps that lane. So that should have been a pinch. And so he should not have had that space, because mechanically I was correct. If you know what I mean, mechanically I was correct. Where the placement of the ball is, he should have been going into that positional lane. That's exactly what I wanted him to do. But it went to the place that the ball is coming from as the receiver versus the other. So anyways, dude, this Laguli chick, dude, I'm telling you, she's one of the fastest right backs I've played with in this game. So there's a creative run out of his jump. Now I need to turn and rotate, and he knows it. And so I'm going to pop, wait, turn one more. One more. Can we get a recount? Can't. So now he's going to try to do this again, where he's going to try to go right down to that center position, and see how he's not using creative runs. So that tells me he should have probably used a creative run if he was going to be, if that first goal wasn't by accident. I don't know if it was not. But this is an example of an animation model issue. This is an example of where I'm applying pressure till I'm on tactical defense, and tactical is supposed to choose bruiser or steps. And so that's a good play through. But if you see my position, now we're in a position where I am going for a tackle. Now I am using the sprint button, but I'm using the sprint jockey. Now that should be applying pressure. That should not be like knocking my player off. You see this animation? You see how it makes me step over here? But look at where I'm dribbling. Look where at the angle I'm looking at. So the step is, man, maybe I missed. But maybe it shifted my animation. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to do, essentially what I'm trying to do on the shot here. Whoop, did this move up? So what I'm trying to do on the shot though is essentially the whole point is with tactical defense, I should be applying bruiser right here. So this should be applying bruiser, especially on that position, but she's able to shoot across the body on the far post in a tiny angle while getting pressured. I don't know if that's my fault. That's something that I'll probably have to look into a little bit further. If I see that a few more times, then I'll know it. But you also have to understand there is a small delay with 36 ms with that position, with those animations. Now Claudia Pina also has some body type issues, and she has insanely high player stats, so for shooting. So that combination with Pina just makes it gross. But I go and I actually look at this because I literally was like, what? Because you can literally see the animation where my player's literally jumping on it. And I'm like, I was so mad. I was like, that was a wasted goal. So realistically, I think that's slightly a wasted goal. Forget what his first goal. Yeah, and the first goal was a little bit weird too. So it wasn't like a clean. It wasn't a clean goal. My goal was clean. My goal was clean. He was in the improper spot. It was a counter play. Boom. We're waiting all the way forward again, and I try to get there again, and I almost have this, but it's all timing. So this time, I really needed to go tiki and then through, but I just was trying to squeeze past the backside, and then he jumps in the front lane. So if I was able to hold that down at all, I probably was able to get that. So boom, this is fine. This is good play. 1, 2, all the way forward. Hold, patience. Over the top. This is a great goal. And then I'm actually yes. I mean, that one's a pretty good goal. I like this one. I really like this one. So we're trying to be a little bit cheeky here. And so what I was trying to do was I was actually trying to get him to jump, to run this way with him, and then I was going to try to feed that in, if that makes sense, while he was going to go straight, and then I was going to send that straight. So I was actually trying to go to verts, and then I just say, you know what, we're going to go Diani there, and then I just try to put it on a strong foot. But and it's a very similar animation where he's going for a bruiser, but if you look at the position, see how he's in front of me. So it's like, to be fair, I think those kind of counter each other, because I think that last goal, the second goal he had, was pretty good where he got in his position. I just think Pina from that angle is ridiculous, though. The angle is ridiculous. My angle is much more consistent. I feel like Diani with finesse plus going right at the keeper in the 6-yard box is different than, or 8 yards out is different than 15 yards on an angle shooting across the body. I don't know. That's just me. And see, that's just, dude, that is just Pina's body types, man. This is the stuff that Pina is able to do. And dude, she just breaks, literally, dude, he's 6'4", is strong as shit. He shouldn't just but those are the animation model types that are happening to Pina, and this is frustrating. That one's frustrating for sure. I think I need to get the precision through ball down. I think I can still get those, but I have to be more precise. This is a pinching defensive technique. So basically, guys, when I stab to create a puzzle. So I'm kind of jumping. I didn't mean to jump that. That's a mistake there. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stab inside, and I'm going to position this way. So what this does is it forces them to take this position, or it forces them to back out of this and then play the ball this way. So this is really how this game defensively needs to play, is like these little tiny, like, create a really tough puzzle versus like being like insane and doing all these crazy things. Crystal done. And she wins the pen, dude. And this Crystal Dunn card is so crazy, bro. She's insane. Look at her. Look at her. She's like 5'1". But this is the exact same play. This is just a different view of it. So I like to say this game is really like chess. You can see I just rocket this ball straight up to a striker. I send this one through. We're going to play this way. And I made a mistake. I didn't mean to play this to her. So instead, this is an adjustment. So if you guys really... if you really want to become the best player you possibly can, you can learn every single thing about this game and you still don't improve, and you're just stuck in elite and you're not getting to that top 100, that top 200, that rank 1. You're rank 2, rank 3. If that is who you are, or even if you're rank 4, whatever it is, or below, and you're more of a casual competitive player, the main reason is the best thing that separates pros from the elite and just standard players is 100% adjustments. Being able to adjust is the difference between scoring goals, finishing, and just getting really close and having a really high goal differential. If you are somebody that has a really high goal differential and you're not pulling out games, what I'm about to break down is exactly what you need to kind of focus on when you are playing, because we make mistakes all the time as players. We make mistakes all the time as players, and this is, you guys have seen this play. You've seen this play just in this clip. It's supposed to go here, and then I'm just supposed to go right through on either side, just depending on which way he goes. It's crystal clear. That should be absolutely crystal clear. That's what I'm trying to do, and the ball goes, kills my momentum of the run going through. I can't get that advantage anymore. Look at this. He was going straight. This was a perfect play. That is going to be opened up beautifully. There's no intercept on him. All I have to do is create tiny angle and bang. Easy open goal, just like the first one. Adjustment. Boom. Now I have to kill that play. So now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to rebuild this play. Get Diani on some momentum here. You see, I'm trying to get Diani here. I'm about to turn, and I'm just trying to rip that through. Boom. And guess where it goes? It goes to verts because I end up adjusting that play. So now I've made an adjustment. So my adjustment, I have a couple adjustments here. Number one is I adjust the momentum and try to rebuild this with Diani. So then the second is I'm going to try to get verts going in with the creative run to try to get that central position. Now what I have to do is adjust again because he just charged that center back out of position. So now we go back, but what I was working is with that center back pulling, now I've essentially created this 2-on-1 position with these two right here in the zone, and now it's a 2-on-1. Now he's at a disadvantage again. Now I'm playing against time. But unfortunately, he was able to pressure me out of this. This is where having other tactics and having other players going forward is very effective. And this is one of the beautiful things about FC 26. And this is why all these creators talking about, oh, the game's not going to be good anymore. No. The AI is significantly better now. You're not going to have that issue. This player is now running. I don't think I sent Crystal Dunn on this run when I went out here. I did not send her on this run. I did right now. And the difference is, in the past, she probably would have just been holding right here, just being in the back. Instead, now I'm able to send this. So what he's thinking is this run's opening up, and so I'm just getting into that space, and then boom, I just take a nice little touch, win that pen. But the whole point of what I'm trying to explain here is it's all about adjusting. You have to be able to adjust to get to that next level. If you are making the same mistakes, what happens is you guys get into a comfort zone and you guys get effective in a certain style of play. As you continue to play and as that style of play becomes less and less effective, there's going to be players that are good at defense. There's going to be players that are bad at defense. There's going to be players that are good at attack, and they're really good in the midfield. They're bad in the holding play. Maybe they're getting a 4-1-2-1-2, but they're not getting a 4-4-1 or 4-4-2, whatever it is. The whole point is you have to be able to adjust, and that if that's a formation, if that's a play style, if that's a position, like right here, he needs to adjust. I'm in the right space, but all he needed to do is adjust. That's how you raise your composure. Composure is nothing but just like being like not being dumb. Like, that's what it comes down to. Composure is about not being dumb under intense pressure, like underneath a time crunch. And so, like, right here, I did not like Saliba coming up. We're going to stay right here in this position. I don't like Yates over there. Look at that position. He squeezes that through. I was reading the play. I have to adjust now. So what do? I have to adjust. Look at this. Marquinhos starts to run over into that space. I end up pulling him to mark that position. Now I'm double marking, so I'm going to try to drive both spaces. So now it's going to be hard. And so he needs to, under pressure, if I'm playing Anders, what do you think? Player lock. Boom. He gets me. That's a goal. That's a goal against somebody that's even higher level. I'm playing somebody that's probably a top 500 player in North America. And that's what I'm saying, is that's the difference of skill, though. Like right here, I did that skill move to pull the player. Now I have to adjust. Can I get the adjustment? I'm trying to win it, but that Mendes. And so Mendes wins it. But it's, if you see the timing, people always tell me, John, why do you need to shoot more? You'll see my mistakes is I try to adjust too much sometimes. And so what you'll see is this, boom, boom, there's those movements. I'm trying to pull that player. So now I need to adjust and I need to see something. So what I should do is fake and then cut, or I need to go backwards and see if he continues to go this way. And then I need to play this and try to get Gioro in there. But he does a really good job of staying there. And then I'm trying to win that space. I'm hoping that he's going to take a half step back. I needed to create a skill move there. My adjustment was poor, and Mendes was able to come in. I didn't expect Mendes probably to come in under that time. And that's where I was dumb under pressure, right? Because the pressure is what forces us. So if you play this game, the difference between skill level is like the skill from the base all the way to the top, it's 99% the same. The difference is ultimately time and pressure. Like, that's what it is. It's like, how much time do you have? The reason why skill moves can be effective, you don't need to know skill moves until you really get into the elite. You just need to know a few. But like, the reason why is because time. Like, you don't need to be in margin of error. Your margin of error is typically more critical the more you try to use and abuse skill moves, because they're harder to learn, all this type of variables. As you can see here, they're going to have to manually mark. And if we get back on the topic here, but with the update here, you can see how we're able to just be a little bit more consistent. I really think that this game feels so much like, I get that people are wanting to score 10 goals a game. Now we're scoring, I think, at a very, very nice level. This is an elite match against two people. Like, I would consider myself very, very solid on both sides of the play. Man, dude, I was just hoping right here. What I was hoping is I was taking a moment. I was just hoping it was going to stay there for a half a second, and I was going to get a bigger angle. But you can see that that's the update. That's the update right there. So he made the position to come back in, and he was able to win that. And that's fair. If you can see this, if you double R1 and mark these runs, they don't always break. And so we're just, boom, look at that. That's what double R1 does. That is proper defense. That is proper defense, and we can finally play good defense. Oh, look at the double creative run, and he goes. That was it. That was it. Look at the double creative. The combo run, boys. The combo run. We should have had this one. That should have been, it should have been 4-2 now. Should have been 4-2 if this. I swear to this 100%. Look at this. Creative. Boom. Creative. But you see the angle went towards him. All I needed to do was I needed a sharper angle. And this is the difference between pro and like being elite, being a pro, and being mastery. What I did here is a pro technique. This is a pro movement. And guys, I think I may have I know I didn't build the run, but I do believe that I am, if you've watched my content, and we kind of blew up a long time ago, but creative runs is one of the main things that we blew up about. And I've been doing creative runs since the inception of them. And the whole thing here is, this is my signature special. This is the combo run. It took me a long time to learn this, to be able to master it. And this is just me doing it, but not in being a little sloppy. So we're barely, so you see this angle? Imagine if this angle is right here. That's a different output. That's a different variable location. That is why the game referenced the play to be able to tackle that. I don't know, man. But that is why that happened. So if I am a rank 2 player and I'm like, how do I become a rank 1? Those are those key details. Those are those what I call mini mechanics. Now, those can change also. and variables in the game can also change. And look at the shift, and then that's what happens. And so here's the thing. So I just had a goal scoring opportunity. I get upset about this goal scoring opportunity. It should have been 4-2 now. Instead, what happens is we go down the pitch, boom, ball goes out. I see him pause. I'm going to try to play defense. I'm mentally in my head, I'm thinking, crap, right? And so I'm trying to mark that again. He goes all the way over the top just with his Mbappe. I'm still thinking about this. He just sends the ball back. He gets into a dangerous space, and then he gets in a really, really good spot here. I thought he was going to shoot that. This is extreme composure now. Now he's in a really smart, composed position, and he's able to rip. That was a very, very talented goal there. But the problem is it came off of a mental break, 1-2, and it came off of like a long ball over the top to Mbappe where he volleys the ball down into space and he gets into a compromising position within like 3 to 5 seconds, which is very frustrating there, but it came from a mental break. And so unfortunately, I jumped a position there. I jumped a couple positions. But that's where, like, had I just been more clinical on my creative run position, I would not have had that issue. And that's actually why I subbed out Saliba, is because of his movement speed there. Because if you look at this jockey position, so if you look at the jockey position right here, I'm in a pretty good spot. And why did it, wait, I need to see this. Was I supposed to hold down? I was holding down R1 and I wanted to come from the backside. So I might be, let me see. There's the R1. Oh, you know what? Did I, yeah, I messed up on the players. I barely missed on, so this is also a defensive thing. So I wanted to close this down, but I also needed this position. This is, yeah, that's just a really good play, man. That's a really good play because I closed it down pretty quick. He shifted it though. There's a faster way to attack. I mean, that was a pretty good way to play, man. That was a very good play. But that's what sucks, man, is I should have been up 4-2. Instead, the ball goes back down the other way. Now the game's tied, 80th minute. Now I'm thinking, okay, I need to make my possessions matter now. Time is dwindling. I need to make my possessions matter. Let's pull them out. And so now I'm going to try to, what I call soaking pressure. This is exactly what I want to see now. So what I'm trying to do by doing this is I'm not trying to troll this guy. I'm not trying to play slow. I am trying to create a separation of space between the back line and the front line. And this is exactly what we're going to do. Boom, look at that separation. Exactly what we want to do. Play with the thought process. If you guys want to get better, this is how you get better. These are the things. Also, guys, like and follow if you guys have never heard anybody talk about this type of shit, because I do it for free right here. If you guys want to book, you guys can always book a session. So right here, now we get into this space, and look at that. Instantly on two, right into the space. 1-on-1. We're going to try to get that position, and we had it, man. Oh, did we have it? But what do I need to do in this space now? I need to do like that drag back move, that little pop pop. I need to like pop pop. I need to pop pop right here. So what I mean is, like, I need to go one, boom, right there. If I do that, oh man, that's night and day. That is game over. Sayonara, see you later. So right here, now I'm dragging Yates in. I can't use that center mid. I'm taking those steps. So this is that little puzzle I like to do right here. This is that defensive puzzle. This is a very hard skill, guys, and you guys can really get burned if you're not thinking properly. And this is why I talk about this all the time. People come in and be like, John, how'd you play? I'm like, guys, I haven't slept. I haven't been sleeping well. These are these little details that, like, when I sleep well, I am on the money. And so this is the difference. Like, when I do these well, I can be a top 100 player in the world. When I don't do these well, guys, I'm like a rank 3, rank 4 player. And the reason why is because once you get to a certain skill level, there's a difference of the micro adjustments for certain things. You can try to use speed and aggression to try to win matches, but if you're not doing them with precision and precise and like for purpose, you lose. And so what happens is if you take a break or you're like, you're drinking, like you've gone out for a night and at the pub and you come home and you guys, it's no different. If you don't sleep well, it's like no different than being intoxicated. So the whole point of here is this is a little puzzle. So right here is what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to come through the backside here while I'm going to be cross-checking that position. Does that make sense? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep him going forward versus back. So I'm going to his backside. And so if he even turns on the back, he would have to have turned this way, which is extremely weird in that space because this is the space opening. So I'm doing something very strange. Like I'm you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to make him do something very weird mechanically. And nowadays, I don't think about it too much. It's more natural. But to get yourself to do that, you kind of have to learn that natural thing. And so here we go again, clear as day, and we rocket the play. And so again, this is what set up this counter. Boom, right into space. He jumps his player. We get a double dink. And now all I'm gonna try to do is what I'm thinking, what he's thinking. You want to get better in the limelight? I'm thinking what he's thinking. What is he thinking? Oh, he's going to need a pass and he's going to try to get this ball over here. That's what he's thinking, right? I'm not thinking that. What I'm thinking is I'm going to see what he does. Does he think I'm going to try to jump this way and he tries to just stay on this position? If he does, I'm just going to go to the spot. Now, if he gets into a position, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow down once I get here. If it's a shooting angle and he's in a good spot, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to act like I'm going to go backwards and then I'm still going to go into a shot position. That makes sense? So a lot of the times people do too many things. They're thinking too many times. All I'm thinking is I'm going to shoot here. And the whole point of this thought process, this is my brain right here, guys. The whole point though is I'm going to get to this spot and I'm going to shoot. If somebody's in my way, I'm going to fake in one of these directions to create that space. That's it. Okay, if you think of it like that, that's it. Because now all I have is I have two variables to process. If this variable here moves this way, or this variable here moves this way, near post, right? If this variable moves this way and this one goes this way or stays high, far post. And what happens? Far post. Boom. That's what I'm reading. That's the thought process. But you have to be able to be quick about it. Now that one's very simple. And I'm just trying to show you guys the thought process with composure there because realistically, we should all be able to do that. Unfortunately, that's, now we need a clear. Now we're in the 85th. Now we need to be more precise, but it is rivals and I'm trying to be cheeky there and I didn't need to because I think he turns. I'm going to step into interior. He gets wide on it. That's a tough goal, man. That's a really tough goal. That's a really tough goal, especially to concede this late. Let me see here. So that's no position there, but that's all right. So I'm okay here. He plays that ball quickly. And look, I'm double marking. I'm doing the right thing. Mbappe is just in a great spot, and I don't have a CDM. I press the CDM up. And so what I needed to do here, this is where I had an issue. I should have switched to a defensive. I just should have switched to like my 4-2-3-1, had two holding. What I also should have done is not followed this play out, and I should have recognized that CDM's out, and I need to cut inside. Because if you look, I should be thinking, okay, he's most likely made an adjustment. What's that adjustment? He's most likely made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. They're attacking. He's down a goal. He's going to be attacking, right? And potentially 6 over here. And so what I really needed to do is I really needed to get somebody into that space. And I was trying to get there. But imagine if he was not stepped up, boom, right there, that double R1 would have locked right here. That's the difference. So that's the difference between winning 5-2 right there. There's two mistakes right there, right? That we had a wide open net position. Now I'm thinking last possession. I'm thinking total and final possession now. I don't want him to get the ball back, so I'm going to be very, very cheeky. I'm just going to try to create pressure, open up space in the meantime. And so boom, returning, and dude, we had it. So that's where if I had incisive pass, and I believe I kid you not, guys, if I had incisive pass, this is a through play. And so I actually took off Sissy. Because you can already see the pass was already, so what happens, guys, with the incisive, it will hold the animation set, or it will like you can see this right here. This is where you can see this. This is why your playstyles matter so much. It's like a frame by frame. I really want to show you guys this. This is a very important thing to understand. But like right there, that's step. So there's the run through. What you're going to see now is if we go frame by frame, you see Marquinhos' position. See how it holds that animation down? How many animations do you see that have a different experience when you pass them, right? So there's two things. One, what you're gonna see if she has incisive, what you're gonna see is the AI potentially play with more, you're gonna see that AI position with more movement backwards. That's number one, once it's activated. So you can look at where I'm activating this pass. And look at where I ended it. I ended it right there. Whoa, no. That's where I ended the animation. So this has nothing to do, sometimes it does not have to do with skill, but it has to do with stats. And this is unfortunately one of those moments, and then it should have been a finish. So I'm really rusty. I'm very rusty. And this is an example of me being extremely dominant compared to this opponent, but still not finishing it out. And why is that? Little tiny detail. This is my squad. It's really a cheap squad. 50K. That's why I love about FC 26. You don't need anything crazy to be good. I'm going to run through why I have these players in specific positions as you saw it through the video, and then I'm going to go in through exactly my tactics. And I have a couple other variations that I run this through. That last match this match I should have actually switched some stuff up. But basically, anticipate plus, intercept plus, that's really what I'm looking for with the defender. That's ultimately what I want. Saliba's good, but he's not phenomenal. I am going to upgrade through there at some point. Charles is fantastic. She just feels a little slow. The rapid does help out. The fullback plus is definitely what we're looking for. Good stamina. She is a very, very good card, but not fantastic. I don't know what the deal is, but dude, Laguli just feels like a beast, bro. She just feels strong. Yates is kind of I don't know how you say this. He's kind of my cheap Vieira right now. He's 6'3", lengthy. I don't like the 3-star weak foot. Passing's okay. Dribbling's not great. Agility's not great. His reactions with 6'3" at this stage is fantastic. High aggression, high strength, stamina. That's what we want with good defense. So he's big. He also has intercept at 6'3", which is like basically Vieira, and he's bruiser with enforcer. So he's basically a huge dude at that center position, and he's got holding plus. So that's what I really like about him. Outside of that, I need something a little bit more, and so that's why I combat that with the pace of Grace Gioro. Probably the most underrated player in the game. Incisive, anticipate, relentless plus. 3 of the best stats you possibly can get. And she's got the inventive, so I can actually use the outside, on the left side, so I can kind of whip balls around the edge if I need to. Insanely fast, and 90. This is going to be probably the most broken card here. She's really hard to link, and that's basically why we have Charles in, and then we get the extra cam with Sissy, and then the manager. So I'm basically forcing Giora into this club. And then done here, I have upgraded. I need to update her. I need to get, hopefully we get some position evos. But basically I have put ping pass on her. I put Tiki Taka plus, but she's quick step rapid with relentless. She just never stops. And then I've added a bunch to her. Pretty much every evo that you can possibly put on her. She's an 82. I'm gonna try to be buffing her as much as I can. She's phenomenal, and being 5'1", she also has full. I put even the fullback plus on her on the left back, and so if I can get like intercept on her, anticipate, that's what I'm looking for. Besides that, this card is absolutely one of the best cards, and she won that pin for me The only thing I don't like about the Sissy card is Cisse is the 3-star weak foot. I feel like I only can shoot with her left foot right now, and it's arguably the hardest thing because I get in so many positions. But you can look at the goal scoring ratio. She's the number one player for me, and I've played every single match. So I've played 357 matches. I feel like I haven't played that much. I feel like, I feel like I take like big breaks in between, and that's probably my effective. So I play like all in one day at a time. But okay, so everything else is, she's fantastic there, and she's got literally everything I want. I have noticed her Shadow Striker plus has kind of eliminated now that some defenses. I wanted Finesse plus on one side and I wanted Incisive plus on the other. That's basically the striker position. So there's nothing crazy about Verts. As you guys know, Diani is phenomenal, but I don't like her passing. I do wish she had Tiki. I wish she had some sort of passing. So I'll probably be changing those up. I also don't like their roles. I would actually be using like an advanced forward support or a poacher plus support instead of the false 9. I don't like it. I'm just doing it for now. And so this is going to be the actual code to start this. But we've got Euro on ball winning, and then Dunn getting through, and that's that whole point that I had done. It was end up able to get that penalty for me based off of that. Now this is my other one. This is the 4-2-3-1 wide. Basically, this is really more of a defensive positioning, and all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pull those wings down. Just to get Kim, I have to swap Charles and Dunn, or to get them on a positional, because Dunn doesn't have left mid, but she has left back, which is really strange. She has right mid and left back, which, anyways. This is, I guess, more of my defensive cam, or my defensive 4-1-2-1-2. It just pulls Dunn back into that ball winning, which I do think that's very big deal. And then this is really my traditional formation. So this is me sending my left back forward, attack plus on those wings when I can. And this is one of my traditional style play. So what happens is I end up sending Giora on that wide half, so she defends the back position, and then Ghoulie sometimes will get forward, Charles will get forward. So that's gonna be the tactics. Hopefully you guys like this video. We'll see you guys in the next episode.